All right, all right, all right. Welcome, friends, stoners, and Canna fam, to the latest episode of the Cannabis Chronicles. I am your boy, Dr. Bong, and I am your host. And we're going to chill out here for an hour or so and talk about medical cannabis. You're going to chill out with me while I get myself situated and get all the background noise out of my life and drink me some water and see how you folks have been in the past week. So, as I said, welcome, friends, stoners, and Canna fam, to the latest episode of the Cannabis Chronicles. I am Dr. Bong, and I am going to be your host for today's show, where we talk about our favorite subject, which is cannabis, medical cannabis, that is. So, as I said, welcome, friends, stoners, and Canna fam, to the latest episode of the Cannabis Chronicles, presented to you by Starr Enterprises. I am Dr. Bong, and I'm glad to be here with you folks every week. Glad to have our conversation and talk about the things we talk about. And shout out to all our friends, those who are going to join the show. We may have a visitor to the show. We may have Joseph maybe coming to talk to us. While Bill is going to be off again this week, but we shout out to him and say hopefully everything is good with him. And maybe he might even pop on too if he decides to give us a couple of minutes. So we are the Cannabis Chronicles. I am Dr. Bong, and we are a weekly candid cannabis community conversation presented to you by Starr Enterprises. And here we educate, elevate, and advocate because cannabis is medicine. Now, not traditional, because I had a conversation. Shout out to a good friend of mine who we chopped it up earlier this week and. Brought an interesting point to be to what we were talking about, and it was very interesting. So shout out to the friends of the show, and we have friends of the show. We were talking about how we used to. I would see him on Fordham. Shout out to Fordham Road. It's very busy up there. I would look out and see my friend and be like, "Oh, Staff, there he is. What's going on?" So shout out to him and his family and everybody associated with him. So we like to talk about today's topic. Today's topic is one of the most important in cannabis history. Um, it goes back, these two topics, and cannabis, medical cannabis, for me, are hand in hand. And I guess this is when I started to, I guess when I first was introduced to people getting relief from medical cannabis or cannabis, because it wasn't labeled medical cannabis, but tonight's topic is HIV and AIDS. Now, this isn't about a condition. This is about a movement and a group of folks who are of a certain age. We got a chance to live through certain things and see certain things. I got to get my notes. When things were a lot different in America, and the stigma for cannabis was in full force. But then AIDS came on the scene, and it changed a lot of people's lives, millions and millions of people's lives. And so it was through my friendships and my relationships with folks that were suffering, were going through and dealing with the condition, that I found out that cannabis could be medicine for certain people in certain instances. So we're going to talk about that. We're going to dive into that. Um, it was definitely a defining moment in cannabis history. Patients, what they would do is they faced appetite loss, if they faced pain, nausea, and fatigue. So long, as I said to you, long before there was like legalization, they were already ending, and they were asking what could help. So we checked out a normal article this week, and it was talking about HIV and AIDS and the recent numbers, and how, although, and I had this conversation with someone earlier, they, like, it's because it's not at the forefront doesn't mean it's not affecting people. You know, you see commercials every day that help people deal with HIV and how you can suppress it to a point where it's non-detectable, but it's still a condition that folks have to live with. And I mean, like I said, of a certain age, folks of a certain age, we remember, you know, how things were for certain people, how it you know, it affected millions and millions and millions of people. Um, you know, some folks very, very directly, and some folks indirectly. So we're going to talk about that today. But according to normal, cannabis has been used to study and used and studied in people living with HIV and AIDS for potential to stimulate their appetite, reduce nausea, manage pain, and improve the quality of life. I think, guys, I've said this many, many times before. Like, uh, you think that no medication is going to cure an individual. Let me say that again. No medication cures your life. What those medications do is they improve the quality of your life, improve the quality of the conditions that you live with on a daily basis. So, the improvement of the quality of life is what we're looking to do. Because when they're losing weight and struggling to maintain nutrition, I said it many times before. One man's munchie is another man's nutrition. So it's not just discomfort; it's it's survival, and that's survival. That's something that those individuals who deal with, and not only HIV and AIDS, but individuals who have nausea or folks who have certain they're using certain chemotherapies. You know, and that can cause you to not have an appetite. That can cause an individual to not want to consume. And again, as we said, food is life. So we have to make sure that we let folks know that life and food are connected. We are the Cannabis Chronicles. I'm your boy, Dr. Bong. And today's topic is a topic that a lot of folks don't talk about, but we here at the Cannabis Chronicles, we don't shy away from medical. We don't shy away from medicine because helping people is helping people. So, in the interest of helping folks, we choose a topic and we talk about it. We research it and we break it down. And on Wednesday nights, you can come here and check us out from 9 to 10 p.m. on stereo, and then join us and follow us later on the Hey, hello, hello. Thank you for starting. Thank you for following us. Again, we are the Cannabis Chronicles. I'm your boy, Dr. Bond, because and long before legalization, people were asking what can help, and we are part of that. We are part of that because we help folks answer questions. That's what we do here at the Cannabis Chronicles. I've said this many times. We had a recent situation here in the United States where we were in lockdown. We couldn't go out. We couldn't interact with other humans. Now, one of the things that I've said many, many times is cannabis is a participation sport. I'm not going to, I'm not going to smoke with somebody. I'm not going to consume with somebody, and we not share the experience. So in the but in that facts um in that um in that instance, you're sharing and you share your cannabis. I'm sorry, I had a text from Joe, so hopefully he will be popping on. He found me, so now hopefully he can find the show. But in the context of things, individuals have to understand that it's not healing, it's improving, and it's the quality of life. So tonight we're going to look this through four aspects. We're going to look at it through business, culture, health, and potpourri. And before we begin, let's check out this bubble from Mrs. Killjoy.
How's your boy Dr. Killjoy? What's good? What's hood? What's hot? What's promised really get rid of hood? Hey,
Hey,
bro, I'm on my girl's phone right now. Brother Bong, what's good? I know you see you in forever, bro. I ain't seen you in like almost a year, bro. How you been? How you doing? How you doing? How you been, bro? It's Killjoy. You know what
I
I'm
know who it
saying?
is.
Dr.
I
Killjoy. 420.
was hoping
You
that
know what I'm
was you,
saying? I got my
bro.
PhD. I got my PhD in THC. You know what I'm saying? You know what it is. You know what it is. But yeah, I'm on my girl's phone, so don't look at me weird and shit, son. Don't look at me weird. You know what I'm saying? But it is what it is.
Never
Hodge
that.
boy, the Killjoy. I'm listening, dog. I'm in here. I'm in the parking lot. I'm in the building. I'm in the building. I'm in the parking lot. I'm in here. Hodge boy, the Killjoy. Smoke weed every day.
Yo, what's up, my friend? How you doing? What's going on, bro? That is our friend Dr. Killjoy, and hopefully he will pop on for a minute and check us out. And here goes Joseph. Joseph JQ's in the house. All right, you found the show. So now I'm happy. I'm not happy. I'm not content until my friends find the show. So we are the Cannabis Chronicles. I'm your boy Dr. Bong, and we are going to talk about our this today's tweet. Today's subject is HIV and AIDS. Through business lens, the cannabis industry didn't start where it is today. It has evolved, and we have evolved in so many different ways. Before dispensaries, before billion-dollar markets, cannabis was used for patients with real needs. Now, I as I said, like I said, this is a very personal door experience. Um, I found out a friend of mine years ago was HIV positive, and he shared with myself, and he told me how he was afraid to tell his parents and how he needed help on doing so. So God rest his soul, we sat down and I wrote a play, and the play was called It Hit Home. And so today's show is dedicated to my good friend who's no longer with us, John M. And like I said, it's the stigma didn't start with cannabis. The stigma didn't start with HIV/AIDS. The stigma didn't start with so many things, so many people. There's stigmas about people. There's stigmas about places, and there's stigmas about things. And one of the things that we do here at the Cannabis Chronicles is try to break those things down. So HIV and AIDS patients were among the first to bring cannabis into medical conversations. And it wasn't about profits at the time. It was about survival. It was about symptom relief, and it was about dignity. Um, like I said, my friend John M. Because like I said, I've been in the cannabis thing for a very, very long time. So my client base was everybody from A to Z, anybody and everyone in between. And he happened to be one of my clients, and he ended up telling me how the cannabis was helping him when he wanted to eat, when he needed an appetite, and sometimes helping him when he was uncomfortable physically and had pain and different things like that. So I always made sure that, I never charged John, we never charged him for any of his bud. And he was one of the people that inspired me. Like once I got involved with medical cannabis, even though he was gone, he was still one of those people who, if I can help somebody today, then it's like helping him then and now. And so, this is a long relationship. This is a long thing with medical cannabis and HIV and AIDS. If you want to check out an article, a source for article in Too Fast for Buds explores how cannabis and HIV are both potential therapeutic tools and a complex medical discussion. So complexity of it is that again, there's so many symptoms associated with HIV and AIDS. There's so many symptoms and relief that comes from medical cannabis that it at least takes at least is something to give a shot. Okay, we got a bubble. Let's see who's talking to us.
Now, see, that's the one and two of it right there. College boy, Dr. Killjoy. Now, see, AIDS and HIV is not like it was back in the 80s and 90s. You know what I'm saying? Even the 2000s, not even like that now. We in 2026, you know what I mean? And motherfucking, the thing is that, like, you can go over here and take some pills that'll make you undetectable and stop the spread. You know what I'm saying? Motherfucker could be grimy and not tell nobody they got that shit. Pop some pills and be good. You know what I'm saying? I know it's not morally right, but you can if you wanted to. You could. You could pull that shit
But
off
think about the
nowadays with
people
the
who
medicines
actually
they got now. You
did.
You know what I'm saying? The
who
same
had
shit they was
AIDS,
giving Magic Johnson
and
back in the day and
because we
shit,
were
they
talking
giving us
about
to
that.
everybody now and shit. You know what I'm saying? So everybody's getting their shit now. AIDS is not a death sentence anymore. It's not a death sentence anymore. It used to be a straight up and down, you know what I'm saying? You got that shit, you're done,
Facts,
so good, God
facts.
bless your soul, God help you. But now, not so much. Not so much. And just like the stigmatism for HIV is not there anymore, because who's talking about
I mean, really, who's talking about it? But we have to talk about it, Killjoy. We have to talk about it, Doc, because we put the nomiker doctor on our names. We say doctor, so we got to share, knowledge. I mean, this is this is this is I don't you know dig into a hat and pull out subjects or topics for the show. I just I look for things, again, like I said, things that are close to me. This was one, HIV and AIDS was one of the subjects, again, when it became part of the what do you call it, the qualifying conditions in New York State. It was one of the things that, because we had to do, when it was therapeutic relief and we were helping people with medical cannabis, we had to be able to articulate to people, what it was and how it was, and not just talking about, I'm talking about all kinds of conditions, but being able to understand what you're reading, being able to articulate to a patient and help them understand. And so that's the key. I think that's one of the things that, we didn't understand, because, again, I say this many, many times. Cannabis is about community. Shout out to Legacy United Community. Shout out to Vaughn. I was talking about my friend. I was talking about my friend Vaughn. I didn't say his name, but shout out to Vaughn. Man, you really, really appreciate you, man, throughout the years we've been friends. So, we have to we have to make sure that the key takeaway from this, and as cannabis becomes mainstream, that the industry carries the responsibility. It continues that responsibility. Not just, and I understand that, yes, you could take a medication for it, but that doesn't mean it's gone. That doesn't mean it's gone, bro. That just means that there's something that is helping with the condition. But what if something happened? What if that medication wasn't available? Again, we can't. We're doomed to make the same mistakes of the past if we don't understand what's going on. And again, I look at this as a double-edged thing, because it is both. They're both stigmas. The stigma about cannabis, the stigma about HIV and AIDS. They're all it's intertwined, because, again, it was underground. Like, those folks weren't able to go to the hospital and get relief. Those folks had to go and see the folks in their community, their loved ones, and we had to help those people when it was a death sentence, when you didn't want to talk about it. And just because we're at a phase now that it's undetectable, don't mean we can't talk about it. We are the Cannabis Chronicles. I'm your boy, Dr. Bong. We are a weekly candid cannabis community conversation. Our topic today is HIV and AIDS, and how we as a community have evolved, how the community now embraces cannabis as a medicine, and how, for me, it already was a medicine back in the day. And this is where it happens, bro. This is where it happens, folks. This is where it happens, where business meets responsibility. Speaking of business, big shout out to our friends from Best Buds Magazine. Shout out to DC and his team all the way down there in Atlanta. Happy belated birthday. He had a birthday, Big 50. Shout out to him on the Big 50 birthday to DC. And he was living it up. Got the chance to check out some really cool photos on his social media. If you want to check them out, you can check them out at bestbudsmagazine.com. That's best, BEST, magazine.com. And you can actually check out if you check that out, you will be able to see you'll be able to see some older video. That was when I was doing the vlog on Instagram Live, and we were able to. That's when we started, doing our thing with the with Best Buds, and they were kind enough to upload my vlog to the magazine, so you get a chance to check out Dr. Bong. If you see the avatar, but if you want to see the old studio and my idea of what I thought was cool, You can check that out. All right, Canna fam, let's take another puff of perspective. We are the Cannabis Chronicles. I'm your boy, Dr. Bong. And segment two, we're going to talk about culture. Now, see, as I said, I go back in the day when certain things, like I said, we are my generation was what do you call that? The TV dinner generation. I don't remember a day without TV dinners or quick dinners and stuff. So those things are part of my generation. And like I said, I mean, good things and bad things. Like I remember when the Challenger exploded. I also remember when Hank Aaron broke Babe Ruth's record. And I remember when John Lennon got shot. And I remember when, some cool 80s stuff happened. I remember when I saw Prince open up for Rick James back in the day. So, I have a perspective on things. And so I can definitely talk about how this has affected my culture, our culture. So it's a force. And what it's done is the conversation is been forced to have. It's been around healthcare access. It's been around the stigma. It's been around our communities, and it's been around advocacy, because without healthcare access, those people it was a death sentence. It was, uh, and it wasn't sometimes, many times, a very pleasant experience. The stigma around it, because again, we stop pointing fingers, and once we stop blaming folks and trying to get out of the way of certain things and just facing it head on, not just as an individual, but as a society. And time and time again, I've said this about cancer. I know, I know there's a child out there in the United States, in the world, that has the equation to figure it out, but we don't embrace, and this is my opinion, and again, we are the Cannabis Chronicles. I'm Dr. Bong. I'm not a doctor. I'm not your doctor, and my opinions are my own, and everybody knows everybody has opinions and they all stink. But my opinion in the American educational system is that it's flip-flopped, is that you kind of try to shuttle every kid into a certain pigeonhole. You're trying to put round pegs in square holes. Now, my whole thing was, let's find the round pegs kids. Let's find the square peg kids. Let's find the rectangular square kids, and and encourage them to be a rectangle, to be a circle, to be the square. So my thing is this, is that when a child, and I'm a father, I'm a grandfather, I've seen children grow up, and I've seen how, their interests grow, and how they become these individuals, and their brains are like sponges. It's true. So my whole thing was that, if we got children interested in certain things earlier in life, guys, earlier in life, and not just say, this and this, you got to do these 12 years of school, and if you don't do it this way or our way, then you're bad, and you get rejected, and just so limiting, so limiting. So again, I feel the same thing about any sickness, about cancer, about HIV and AIDS. I think that there's somebody out there that has the equation. They just haven't been able to unlock it. And again, shout out to our friends from, Sage Genetics. Shout out to, excuse me, geez, oh man, I'm flying through this one. Excuse me, guys. Shout out to JT and his team. We are enjoying this week's offering that we are enjoying here. Not in the studio. We don't smoke in the studio, but we were consuming earlier, and we were consuming a very, very, very good friend of mine, Gorilla Glue #4. Thank you so much, Sage Genetics, for introducing me to that good friend. All right, Canada family, let's go and take that puff of a perspective. We're going to talk about culture. Patients and advocates have pushed for access to cannabis when options were limited. They did. I can honestly tell you, on the front lines, as a cannabis supplier, I supplied at least one. I talk about this one particular person who, used their cannabis, my cannabis, the cannabis that we sold them, for their medicine. And we got a couple bubbles. So let's see what's going on. Jeff, how can
Jeff,
I
how do I
talk, man?
talk, man?
And then Mrs. Johnson. Okay, I didn't know if you
How's
wanted
your
to
boy,
talk. We'll
Dr.
bring you on.
Killjoy? Now, I'm not going to get political on you or whatever, but I'm going to say this. In the political landscape of life today and such, you know what I'm saying, kids nowadays don't get the freedoms that they used to have. You know what I'm saying? Like, the last 5 years, shit's gotten a lot tighter. You know what I'm saying? You can't say what you want to say, do what you want to do, talk to who you want to talk to without some Karen or someone saying, I don't want you teaching that to my child, and saying that you can't teach the end of the kids. There was a biology teacher that just went to jail. A biology teacher that went to jail because he had pictures of biology shit, like you know what I'm saying, body parts and shit like that there and shit like that biology shit. They put that man in jail because of it. They let him out and his fucking reputation is ruined because of it. But again, this is the time we live in. This is the time we're living in, bro. Can't do what you want to do.
I understand. I totally understand your point. I understand your point, Dr. Killjoy. And you're absolutely right. But that doesn't make it right because we live in those times. I I ain't burning no books. I love books. I'm not going to suppress any information. I'm not going to think that my opinion, that my understanding, that my grasp of anything is better than anyone else's. And so, like I said, I just put the information out there. Like I know that people, um, and this is why I talk about. This is why the show is called the Cannabis Chronicles. This is why I do the show because I'm not talking about speculation. I'm not reading the book. I'm not talking about something that I read on the internet or anything like that. This is something that I do that I've done every day. And excuse me, y'all. I've doing this for 10 years. 10 years. We are the Cannabis Chronicles. I'm your boy, Dr. Bong. We got another bubble. Let's check it out.
Yo, um, I have a lot to say, but I don't know how to do this. Can someone tell me how to say something?
All right, Joseph. I got you, bro. I'm gonna add you to the show right now. Okay. Adding you to the talk, and I'm following you back. And it's calling you now, so pick up your phone. All right, we are the Cannabis Chronicles, and we're joined by our friend, the one and only JQ. What's up, JQ? You said you got something to say? Talk to me.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah, yeah, no, I can hear you. Damn, now I was all lost because it was way back with the HIV stories. But you know what? When you're going back to the HIV and the era of drugs. Hello.
I'm here, bro. Talk, talk.
Okay, okay, I'm all messed up on here. Okay. Um, I pushed we talking about Cannabis Chronicles and but there was a lot of other shit on the street, like the Quaalude era. Remember the lemon
Nah,
744?
man. I'm not going there. Talk to me. Talk to me. And talk to me nice. You know you my boy. But
Mm-hmm.
I'm just saying, because I don't want to go off because we only got a limited amount of time. That if it's maybe you didn't hear what I was talking about because you're trying to search for the show. But today's show is about HIV and AIDS and how the stigma for HIV and AIDS and cannabis, the stigma for cannabis, have have really a correlation. Have really been there because to be honest with you, from the very beginning of the HIV crisis, and like I said earlier, I, as an individual who has been, selling the cannabis for a very long time, have many patients, friends who were HIV positive, and this one particular person who I was actually referring to on the show actually expressed to me how cannabis helped him with his appetite, with his pain, and with his with the
Yeah,
improvement
I've
of the
heard that.
quality of his
I heard
life.
a lot about. I heard a lot of people say that helped them with the appetite. Cause I had a good friend. I mean, a brother, and he had the HIV, and but that comes hepatitis B. So hepatitis B very contagious. So I went and got the vaccine so I could be around him to protect myself. Cause we couldn't stop loving those people,
Yeah,
and a lot of people were afraid to be around those people at one time. Before the education came out, I guess.
facts.
And
That's the truth.
it
That's
was
what I
a
was talking
hard
about
time.
earlier.
Yeah, it was a hard time in the beginning because people were afraid of the unknown. But like someone I think Yo-Yo String or SG, somebody said it right. It's pretty much under control with the pills. But they, like you said, the appetite. All medications kill our appetite. So they need to push the medical cannabis to those pills that kill the appetite to give those people appetite. Because I was down to 112 pounds. I did a few changes with your advice to 1 to 1.
Hmm.
And I'm 140 pounds now. I gained 28 pounds.
That's what's up. That's what's up. We have
Yeah,
a bubble.
so,
Let's
all
listen to
right,
the
go ahead.
bubble real quick, and then we'll circle back. We are the Cannabis Chronicles. I'm joined tonight by my boy JQ, and we're sharing our experiences with our friends and loved ones, and we're talking about the subject HIV and AIDS.
I don't know if you remember, brother, but if you remember, I have MS, multiple sclerosis, and the greens help me every single freaking day. If it wasn't for the greens, I don't know if I'd be on this conversation right now with you right now. You know what I'm saying? It's the greens that keeps me physically able to maintain the pain. You know what I'm saying? My legs, my arms, you know what I'm saying? Parts of my body are shutting down piece by piece. And if it wasn't for the green to ease the pain of the neuropathy in my legs, you know what I'm saying? I would be crying
I
literally
remember.
24/7, 7 days a week. I'm not even capping on that. And the thing is
Wow.
that I'm walking proof that cannabis does help. It helps. It helps. I used to have seizures. I don't have seizures anymore because I stay smoking. Stay smoking. You know what I'm saying? They put me on
God bless,
Depakote.
bro.
They put me on all these other anti-seizure medicines. But the only thing that really helped me was the green.
Yo, and hopefully I think
I,
we had that conversation, bro, and you had the conversation too, Joseph. We had because like the green for me, like a lot of people come into it thinking about it's all about getting high. It's all about the high, the high, the high, the high, the high. But it's not. For me, it's about the relief, the relief, the relief. And when you introduce CBD to a product, as you know, Joe, it levels out the psychotropic, so you don't have the so-called high that you would have if it was strictly a THC product. So I believe Dr. Killjoy, I believe I made that recommendation. I'm not sure, but we like he said, we've had a long friendship on this space, and I immediately when um when I hop back on the platform, I wanted to make sure that I reached out to certain people, and you truly, my friend, are one of them. I'm so glad you came on. I'm so glad you popped back up because, as I said, man, you're such an entertaining man. We have such positive conversations, and I knew it was a matter of time. I don't know if you noticed, but ever since I came back on the air, bro, I've been hitting you up. We are the Cannabis Chronicles. I'm your boy, Dr. Bong, and I am so pleased to be joined by all of my friends here. JQ, say what's up to everybody.
what's up, everybody? How you doing?
All right, all right. JQ is a friend of mine. Also, I guess you could say I'm not a doctor. I guess I'm going to say this. I'm not a doctor, but I am a consultant. And Joseph is one of the people I've consulted. And he
Very
was
good
saying
consultant,
how,
by the way.
thank you. And he has said that his increasing of certain cannabis ratios helped him to increase weight. And one of the things we're talking about with HIV and AIDS is that appetite. People lose their appetite. But Joseph also stated that all kind of people lose their appetites for all kind of different reasons. So it's not just about HIV and AIDS. So we are definitely enhanced and learning from your experience. Listen, if you have something to say, if you know somebody, if you have a question about cannabis, please feel free to reach out to us, leave a bubble, and let us know. Just please remember to talk nice to us. We are the Cannabis Chronicles. Communities had to come together to support each other because there were no there, and Joseph can tell you this, there was no support out there. And that spirit still lives on in the cannabis culture today. We are sharing, we are friends, we are a community. And speaking of friends, we want to shout out to friends of our show, the Cannabis Society. Speaking of Cannabis Society, we'll get to that bubble after this, the commercial part. Speaking of Cannabis Society, we have an event coming up in October. And if you want to get involved and be heads on and be boots on the ground and join the platoon. And I mean, like literally, you can join Canaware Society. You get involved with the Canaware United Network. I can find out so much stuff, and you can check them out at canaware.org. That's CANNAWARE.org. So become those boots on the ground. So shout out to Grizz, Abe, Sam, Star, and Nori. Real life, activism, education, and connections. Canaware Society. Also, shout out to our friends Justin at Chill Pipes. I am Dr. Bong, but one of my favorite bongs I got from our friend Justin at Chill Pipes, and her name is Ebony, and she is a she's a matte black bong, and so we shout her out. But Joseph, do you do bongs?
No,
Have you ever done bongs? You are the dab king, right? You love dabs now, right?
the dab machine, you got me.
Yeah, and what it was? Is it the dab pen?
Yeah,
Okay, we are the Cannabis
it get,
Chronicles, chopping it up
it
about our
gets a
favorite
lot
stuff,
of
that
use.
cannabis. I
Gets a
bet it
lot of
does.
use.
We got a couple bubbles. Here we go.
Tick, tick, tick. Uh-oh. Helly Tudor is in the building. That's right. The founder of Clean Talk for Clean Folks is here. And it's your turn, Bong and Kionis, to speak with the Helly Tudor. Well, one subject at a time. Cannabis Chronicles versus HIV/AIDS. Cannabis is still a Schedule 1 controlled substance in this country. So all of your conversation and all of your worthiness that you believe is legitimate is not. You are not legally allowed in any state, in any territory in this country to have, hold, possess, grow, transport, gift wrap, lick on, sit on, or even have a piece of anything related to cannabis. Right? So it doesn't make a difference what you think of it or I think of it. You wind up in prison, huh? And so be it. So no doubt that someone is going to say, well, my state says it's legal. Well, your state legislatures are felons, guilty of sedition, oath violation, drug dealing, and RICO. Why? Because they're not allowed. No state
Joe, you
legislator
hear
is
this?
allowed to take
Yeah, go
federal
ahead.
law home and pick out what he wants, enforce what he wants, and file 13 the other. You're not allowed to do that. Every state legislature, every judge, and every peace officer in this country is sworn to first uphold the United States Constitution, right? And secondly, their state constitution. Your United States Constitution has a supremacy clause. It's very clear, and it is a single sentence. Should I read it?
Hey, listen, brother Hilitator, whatever you want to call her. Listen, everybody's entitled to their opinion. I get it, and I get that you feel that way. But just like you feel the way you feel, uh, I can feel the way I feel. But what I'm going to come at you is I'm going to say my state legislature. I'm not going to say my state legislature, bro. I'm going to tell you that I've helped hundreds of people with this medication called cannabis. So I don't care whether they have seizures. I don't care whether they had chronic pain. I don't care whether they had HIV or AIDS. I don't care if they had IBS, IBC, or IBD, or ABCDEHGHIJKLMNOP. I'm going to help people because before I got involved with cannabis, I was a healthcare professional. Until the day I draw my last breath, I will be a healthcare professional. It just so happens that my healthcare profession has put me in this space. So, as I said to Joseph earlier today, and he could attest to this, there were some things in our society that didn't start out to be a positive thing. Do your research. Did you know that X-ray was not a good thing? So if you had an X-ray, it didn't start out as a good thing. It started out as a weapon. Also, chemotherapy, weapon, could be weaponized. So, I ain't never heard of cannabis killing nobody. I ain't never heard of cannabis hurting nobody. So as long as I don't hurt or kill nobody with this, I'm gonna keep on doing what I keep on doing. We are the Cannabis Chronicles. We got a bubble. What's up? Oh, here we go. Let's see what you got to say.
No, Bong. I don't feel anything. I'm a man. I don't deal in feelings. This is a country that's bound by laws, and those laws are clear. Have you read the Supremacy Clause? It is a single run-on sentence. It basically says that that this Constitution is the supreme law of the land, along with any federal laws attached thereto that are and shall be made, along with any treaties with other countries. And all judges are bound by it. Any state constitution laws notwithstanding, right? So anything you say at the state level or the constitution of your state is notwithstanding. You don't have the right to countermand or countervene the United States Constitution. That's not my feeling. You can read that for yourself. It's Article 6, Paragraph 2.
Okay, okay, so it ain't your feelings. Excuse me, I didn't mean to hurt your feelings. But we gonna open this one up, y'all. We gonna open this one up. Are you kidding me, bro? Are you dead ass kidding me? Are you sitting here talking to me about Constitution this, about statute that, when you have a convicted felon as your president who has no idea? Do you have any idea? I am a learned man, sir. I am a veteran. I am a 10-year veteran in this medical cannabis thing. I spent 15 years helping other people. And as I said to you before, you can spout all you want. You can talk all the words you want. You can spout the books. You can pile them up. But guess what? I'm helping people. So if I help one people, I act like I can't speak. I help one person, that's worth a 10,000 of your statutes about whatever, blah, 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 blah. It's all fucking Mr. Excuse me, I mean to curse at you, excuse me, brother. It all sounds like Charlie Brown and his mama. We got another bubble.
There has always been change in American and world society. Laws change through time, Hella Tutor. I'm not even gonna call you Hella Tutor. I'm gonna call you Hella Hater because you are hella hating right now. How's boy Dr. Killjoy? Look here. I'm gonna say it like this, bro. Laws change through time. People change the laws. The society changes and the laws change with society. You say, oh, there's no legislator, it's illegal, it's illegal, it's illegal. It was once illegal for a black man to read. Now you want
Preach.
us to go back to those days?
Preach.
Do you want us to go back to those days where it was illegal
bro.
for a black man to learn how to read?
You better tell
You know what
him.
I'm saying? Those were the laws that the man put up in front. Why do you think they put the laws against weed and the cannabis in the first place? In the first place. Racially motivated. Period. No money, no situation, and the guy who's behind it all, his cousin or
He just dropped a mic on you. He just dropped a mic on you. What? Uh oh. We got a debate going back and forth. We are the Cannabis Chronicles. I am your boy, Dr. Bong, and we are a weekly candid cannabis community conversation. Our topic today is HIV and AIDS, but we have an interesting bubble conversation going on between Hella
Hella hater.
Hella Tudor, and all right, you said that, Joseph, not me. And my boy, the one and only Professor, the one and only Dr. Killjoy. What you got to say?
So I've got legislators, judges, peace officers, and attorneys in my family. But none of that gives me permission to go outside and smoke weed. You can be a veteran, you can be a pilot. I trained helicopter pilots for 17 and a half years. I'm a learned man. I've got 3 degrees. Check my bio, right? None of that allows me to have, hold, or possess cannabis. Why? Because the law says so, right? And if you think you can go around the law, then go ahead. I'll see you in prison. Have your bond money ready. Just a matter of time.
So why do I have a license? Why do I have a license for it?
Listen, listen, bro. Like I said,
Why are we entertaining
first
this?
of all, I don't even know. First of all, Hella Tudor, where you are? Where are you? Are you in New York? Are you in Alabama? Or are you in California? Where are you? Because if you're not in New York, then you can't even say nothing to me because you don't even know what my life is like. You don't even know what life is like in a medical cannabis state. I can go out right now and smoke, and Joseph and I can meet in our greenway right now. We live in the same damn development and smoke in front of the police because it's legal. So it's legal in the state, yes, and you're absolutely right about federal, but do your research because it's about to change from 1 to 3. but that doesn't do much anything because, as far as I'm concerned, it should be legal anyway. So it shouldn't have it shouldn't be a schedule. We got another bubble, but I bet you it's hella tutor just to say something else. We're the Cannabis Chronicles.
I'm in Houston, Texas, and I have property in Brooklyn and property in Georgia, and we have a hangar in California. Any other questions?
Hey, bro, I'm not coming at you. I'm just saying that everybody's entitled to their opinion. I'm so proud of you. I'm so thankful that you had the opportunity and you took the time to come and join us on our show today. I no longer need to debate you because you're in Texas, so you obviously don't know what it's like to be in a medical state. And obviously, you haven't done your research because if you did, you see that cannabis helps people every day. And that's the most important thing. And if you have another bubble, I'm not going to debate with you anymore. This is your last bubble.
It's about to change. It's going to change. And I did it in front of the police. None of that makes any difference. All right? Illegal aliens thought they could get away with stuff and did for years. And then finally, the bill come due. I'm going to send you a receipt in the back chat so you can look the law up for yourself. At the moment, right now, right this moment, it is a Schedule 1 controlled substance, and you can do many, many years in prison for have, hold, possess, grow, transport, any of that. Don't believe the heli tutor. Look it up.
Bro, I
Yo, you
know
made me
this.
laugh. I'm sorry,
I
bro.
already, Hella Tudor, I already know this. If you listen to the early part of the show, I have been in this cannabis game since before I had a deep voice. Since before this voice was a deep baritone voice. I'm a
I got a crash.
I, listen, I'm just thankful. Thank you for sharing your information. Thank you for sharing your time. All I want to do is help people. I don't want to hold people back. And if helping people is wrong and helping improve their quality of life, ask Joseph. Ask Joseph. I helped him improve the quality of his life. Ask Professor Waffles. Ask D Nice how many people he's helped. Ask Yanni or Maria Ma. We help people, sir. So you're right. But the people who are smarter than I have passed the laws that allow us to do what I do. So as long as I'm still allowed to do what I do, I'm going to do what I do. So you have a nice day. We are the Cannabis Chronicles. I'm your boy, Dr. Bong. And HIV affects the immune system, and many patients experience appetite loss, chronic pain, nausea, and fatigue. Now, a source article in Normal, according to Normal, cannabis can be studied for appetite stimulation, pain management, nausea reduction, and quality of life. So you can check out the CRX magazine. An article from CRX magazine highlights how cannabis use in HIV related conditions for wasting syndrome, neuropathic pain, medication side effects, and appetite suppression. So, because when the body is losing weight, it's survival. Cannabis is not a cure for HIV or AIDS. It plays a role in symptom management, patient care, and quality of life. Shout out to the friends of the show, Living Soil MDV. They have an event coming up this week, 3 days from now, on the 11th. If you're in Rochester, New York, check out Living Soil and their event coming on. Also, shout out to Justin and his BuzzFeed Weekly team. If you want to find out information, all kind of information about cannabis and all kind of stuff, check them out at buzzfeedweekly.com. Two more bubbles. Please don't talk. And please talk nice
Can
to
I
me.
can I say one? Do you hear me?
Yeah, say something, bro.
Yo, to hella hater. Um, Side effects. There ain't no side effects with cannabis. Helicopter. Talk about that. Talk about all the Percocet, oxycodone, and morphine and Valium and Xanax. Take that for 25 years and you're dead. Smoke 20 for 25 years, you're good. Let him answer a bubble, please. Let Bubblehead answer bubble, please.
Well, there's a bubble here, so let's see what Miss Johnson got to say. Or should I say, my boy?
Okay, so we keep on talking about how it's legal now. It's illegal now. Now it's illegal. It's illegal. In certain states, you're right, it is illegal. In Texas, whoo, but people still do it. Why is the majority of your people and my people Still smoke weed if it's such a bad thing. It's not like alcohol. Alcohol kills. Alcohol sends
Word.
you to the prison, but no. Alcohol doesn't send you to prison unless you do some stupid shit. You can drink alcohol as much as you want, but that's legal. Why? Because of the money. Because of the
Amen.
money. We had to go through prohibition and all that crap. They held on to the money. They got it situated, and then they did what they did and turned around prohibition. Now, soon enough, the prohibition on freaking marijuana is going to be completely turned around. It's going to be a Schedule 3. It's going to be like Tylenol. And what are you going to say then? What are you, all
Amen.
these years of you beating down the bush going to mean then? Nothing. Because then it's going to be legal, and everybody's
Have you followed the case with Deja Taylor in Virginia, a recent inductee in one of the 26 or so states that claim to have jurisprudence over cannabis independent of the federal government? They created the thing called the Virginia Cannabis Control Authority. This dope fiend of a woman went and bought a gun, lied on the federal application to get it. She left it on the dresser, loaded, and the 6-year-old climbed the dresser, got the gun, took it to school, and showed it to his friends, and then pulled it out and shot his first grade teacher through her left hand in the upper part of her chest aorta. She almost died. That woman is in federal prison right now. And contributory to all of this is the legislators of Virginia who decided to obfuscate and defy federal law. And they flooded the state with cannabis. Huh?
Yo, this dude is from another world, bro.
Hey, listen, we are not going to listen.
I'm
I'm
sorry,
not.
man. I don't know where. I don't know if he's from Texas or Mars. For
But the
real.
beautiful thing, bro, is that he can have that opinion, and it's
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
I'm
I hear
not.
you. I hear you. I
I'm
hear
not
you.
mad at him. And listen, you're absolutely right. He's absolutely right. All of your points are right. There's nothing wrong with what he's saying. But at the end of the day, he's in Texas. We're in New York, so it's a whole different ballgame. Another
Yeah.
bubble.
So it is. I know a lot of people in
Here
Texas.
in
Yeah.
Texas, we follow the federal law, right? And you could be correct about some of these medical issues. That's not my job, right? That's something that's to be handled with scientists and medical professionals, right? With these special committees that decide what the law is. At the moment, the law has been decided at the federal level, and no one, not you, not me, not my mom, not your mom, can make a barbecue plate and make a decision to go around federal law. So right now, we put people in prison for doing that. We had a couple people try to open up some dispensaries here in Texas. They were raided and beat down and burned to the ground. And everybody involved is either in prison or headed that way. It's not a joke, guys. You can believe all you want. You can follow these false prophets all you want. Some of the things they say may be true, but it matters not because it's unlawful at the federal level. That's the end of the conversation.
Bro, what does that have to do with cannabis? A little kid takes a gun to school and you're gonna blame the weed? What the kind of I
Man,
don't
I
even
hear
know.
you.
I don't. Hell, too, you lost me, bro. How you gonna blame? That's like saying, okay. Um, I went over here and I cheated on my wife. You know what I'm saying? But you know why I cheated on my wife? Because of the weed. No, bro. If you're gonna cheat on your wife, you're gonna cheat on your wife anyway. That has more been for weed than some kids shooting his teacher. That has nothing to do with
Oh, damn.
weed. So why are we bringing this? Man, stop yourself, Holly. Stop yourself.
No, no, no. Not my opinion, Bong. Deja Taylor is in federal prison. Don't believe the hell to look it up. I followed the whole case. Huh? The whole case. She's
Bro,
in
but she's in
federal
Virginia. I'm in
prison.
New York. What are you
And the
talking
one who
about?
got shot won a $10 million award
I
against
interested, bro.
the woman, the vice principal, that sat there and let it happen, right? And the school district, $10 million.
Do
So
you know how many
whatever
people
effects you
consume
have, you
cannabis
think
on a
that
really
it's
regular
ruining
basis?
lives in its
Do you know
wake.
how many of those
You're not
people have
mentioning the
children?
lives
Do you know
ruined.
how many people of those
Huh?
children do
Tell
not
the
go to
whole
school and
truth
do
and
not
nothing
do
but the
stupid
truth.
stuff?
So
Let's
help you,
face it. Okay, that
Bong.
woman did something stupid. She was a bad gun owner. I said I'm a veteran. I know people who own guns. My father owns guns. My brother owns guns. My best friend's son owns guns. My best friend's father owns guns, and they own them responsible. They lock them up. They don't leave them on the dresser. So don't, please don't, please don't lump my beautiful cannabis community with something that one stupid person did. And you know what? I'm so sorry that that person, that teacher got injured. I'm so sorry that that teacher did that. But I just want to say that it has absolutely nothing to do with the fact that cannabis helps people medically. We got another bubble. We got somebody different. Let's see what's going on.
Yo, shout out to the panel, shout out to the room. I am cackling a hella tutor. Wow. My kid shot a teacher at school because I got high. What the hell?
That was funny.
So if you don't know the case about Deja Taylor, one of the questions on the Federal Register, she was arrested just months earlier, ran into a bunch of cars. The car was flooded with weed and edibles, and the child at the time was 4.5 months old in a chair. They should have taken the child then. But at that moment, Virginia was at the cusp of creating the Virginia Cannabis Control Authority, and the peace officers were told not to arrest people for that. They arrested her for DUI, but not for the weed. Right? So the weed is a contributory factor in that it is one of the questions on the federal questionnaire to purchase a firearm. She lied on that questionnaire to get the
Bro, you have
firearm.
jumped from
So
so many
that's why the
subjects.
firearm was there because she's a dope fiend and a liar, and that's why the child got the gun, and that's why the 25-year-old first grade teacher was shot. Pay attention.
Yo, blood, he can't. Did this motherfucker, yo. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry, folks. I did not mean to lose composure. Did you just come on my show and tell me to pay attention? Again, you came on my show, sir. I didn't come in your space. I don't even know who the hella tutor you are. All I'm saying to you is everything you said is valid. But why are you pushing this case? This woman is in Virginia, has no medical cannabis program. You live in Texas, you have no medical cannabis program. But yet you're talking about something that you don't know what you're talking about. You don't know what you're talking about, Halitator. And it's okay because this isn't your lane. I'm not going to talk to you about statutes. I'm not going to talk to you about things that have to do with law. I'm going to talk to you about medical cannabis. And I got 100 people. I can at least bring 10 of them on the show and tell you that I've helped them. I'm your boy, Dr. Bong, man. It has been a pleasure to be part of your lives for this hour. This has been the best show of the new season. We are season 5, Hella Tater, Hella Tutor, Hella Hater, whatever they want to call you. Come and check out. You want to check out something? Check out my resume because this is what I do. I help people and I want to help you. And you know, when Texas gets their medical cannabis gets their medical cannabis program, you call me and I'll help you. Cannabis is more than a product, it's a story. It's where cannabis shifted from stigma to a necessity. I remember what it was like when I worked in cannabis when we were locked down and we were considered to be a essential program. Essential. It's essential to people. So, an article from Marijuana Moment reports 3 in 4 Americans say cannabis is not a red flag in dating. So, if you meet somebody and they smoke, it's okay. Once was hidden is now part of everyday life, from secrecy to social acceptance. Shout out to Big Gas Dispensary. Shout out to Big Gas Worldwide. Shout out to Pen Game Publishing. All right, Canna Fam, let's take another perspective. Our cultivar spotlight this week is Northern Lights. The profile is relaxing, body focus, associated with appetite and rest. An article from Marijuana Biz highlights how cannabis has evolved from medical focused cultivars to modern trend delivered driven genetics. But before it was hype, it was function. I'm Dr. Bong. Comfort when the body needs it most. HIV and AIDS is not just a condition, it's a chapter in cannabis history. It's a chapter in American history. It reminds us cannabis wasn't always accepted, but it was always used. This is the Cannabis Chronicles. I'm Dr. Bong. Stay informed, stay intentional, stay lifted responsibly. Joseph, you want to say anything to anybody?
Yo, it was a great show. I can't wait for next week. Halifax to do some research and join us.
We appreciate
God
you,
bless
Joseph.
you
We're gonna
all.
play these bubbles and we're gonna play them out. Hella Tudor,
God
please
bless
don't try to
everybody.
sell me. Don't go nowhere, Joseph. You stay.
I'm saying.
If you smoke cannabis, you're not allowed to own, buy, purchase, or apply to do any of that with respect to guns. Don't believe me? Look at the federal law. She lied about her status, and she got a gun, and that's what led to the son getting the gun. But your killjoy little friend there, he didn't get it. He just missed the whole point.
Oh, God.
Why are you here, Hella Tutor? Why are you here, Hella Hater? What's going on here, bro? I don't understand this. You see, the topic is weed. We see we're talking about cannabis in America and the world. And we're talking about HIV and such like that there and AIDS and how it helps people out. The weed helps people out that has it. We're talking about some real shit. But here you go about, oh, there was this woman that lied. She lied. She's a liar. She's a liar. So what? I don't give a damn about that woman and her lying. They ain't got shit to do with weed. What you mean? What you mean? Stop hating, Hella Tutor. Stop hating, Hella Hater. Go somewhere with yourself, bro. Go read a book or something. Jesus Christ.
I'm not
Oh,
talking to
man.
you, Bong. I was talking to the person who said I was lost and that the weed had nothing to do with the gun. You're not paying attention because I was responding to someone who was jabbing at me. Huh? So, again, and this is not your show. You don't own anything here. This is a public place. If you don't believe me, look in chapter 10.1 of your terms of service. It is clear, yet again, and every last one of us affirmed that to get into this public space.
Wow. Well, I tell you what, I have had a wonderful show. I thank you, Joseph, for being here. Thank you, Dr. Killjoy. Thank you, Yo Yo. Thank you, Hella Tutor. I appreciate the tutoring that you attempted today. I'm your boy, Dr. Bong, and always remember cannabis is medicine. Good night, friends. Good
Good
night,
night, brother.
stoners. Good night, Canafam.
Good night,
Peace.
Hella.